Amber, let's show our audience how to dine in American style. Pick up your knife and fork, please. Index fingers in place. Beautiful. Let me get a close look at that. Gorgeous. Great. Okay, and we're cutting. Cut only in front of the fork, gracefully. Now you're finished cutting that piece in American style. Because you're right-handed, you switch it to your right. If you were left-handed, what would you do?
You would keep the fork in your left hand and put your right hand on your lap.
Good. So in this case, you're pretty good. So in this case, you're right-handed, right? Okay.
So I'll hand it to my right hand, put my left hand on my lap, and eat.
Good. Now it's time to cut again.
So I hand it back to my left hand, index fingers in place, and I'm cutting.
Try not to raise the knife too high. You're doing it gracefully. You're finished cutting that piece. Now, what's interesting about the positioning of the knife?
So the positioning of the knife is important, that you put the blade facing you instead of facing others.
Okay, wonderful. Good. Now it's time to pause.
So to pause, you put your fork in the 5 o'clock position with the handle off the plate.
Now, do you drink while you're dining?
You can drink while you're dining, yes.
Okay, so go ahead and take a sip. Let's see how you hold that glass. Beautiful. Right at the stem, looking in. Great. Now it's time to cut that last piece. How would you retrieve that fork?
So I would hand it over, just like before.
So why weren't you able to reach with your left hand?
So I wasn't able to reach with my left hand because I'm not using my left hand to use the fork.
And because you don't want to cross your body with your hand. So place that fork back in the 5 o'clock position for me, please. Now I'd like you to demonstrate reaching with your left hand.
Okay.
We don't do that. Reach with your left hand. Right. We don't cross our body that way. So place it back in position. So the proper way is for you to pick it up with your right hand and hand it to your left hand. Good. Yes. And you're cutting. You finished cutting that piece. And you're enjoying that portion. Now you are finished.
So now that I'm finished, I will put my fork and my knife in the 5 o'clock position with the knife blade facing the fork.
Okay, wonderful. Good job. So that's the American style. Awesome. Okay, Amber, let's dine in the European style. Okay, pick up your knife and fork, please. Index fingers in place. Great. And we're cutting. You're finished cutting that piece. Now, Amber, tell me why you rested your wrist on the left. If you can move that glass to your right a bit for me.
Sure.
Okay. Now, tell me why you rested your wrist at the edge of the table and not in your lap.
So I put my wrist here because I still have the utensil in it, and it's appropriate to keep the knife down instead of up because it's offensive when it's up. So I put my wrist here so that I can take the time to eat my dish, and then when I'm ready to get back to the second piece, I bring it back over. Okay,
so in the American style, you were permitted to place your hands in your lap. Is that okay for the European style?
No, it's not.
Right. In the European style, they always want to see what you're doing with your hand.
Yes, so you must keep your utensils in your hands.
And you must keep your wrist at the edge of the table, right? Okay, great. Let's cut again. We're finished cutting that piece. Pivot in. Good. Now let's get something soft on the back of our fork. Could be mashed potato, could be squash, anything soft.
So we're going to scoop it up on the back of the fork. And then when you're done, you put your hands back at the side here and you pivot.
Good, good. Do that again for me, please. Good. Now let's get some rice or a combination of foods.
Sure. So you flip your fork and you put it flat on the table. You bring your knife back and you're going to scoop it away from you onto the fork. Place your knife back here and then you can eat.
Good. Let's do that again. Great job. Now, what's your pause position in European style?
So my pause position is the upside down V.
Yeah, it's like an upside down V.
Yes.
Good. Making sure the handles hang off. Great. Now, what's the finished position in European style?
So the finished position is you put your fork over here and it has to be upside down in the 5 o'clock position.
Okay, so what's the difference between the American and European style in reference to the positioning of the fork?
So the fork in the European style, it's upside down, and the American style, it's faced like this.
Okay, so in the American style, it's faced upward. In the European style, it's faced
Upside down.
downward. Okay, excellent job.